So we just got done doing some chores with these guys right here. Just been sitting out here for the past about 10 minutes and I'm doing something I've always done. And I kind of wanted to share that tip with y'all. So a big part of what we do is taking care of our animals, obviously. But it's always a good idea after you get done doing those chores to take a minute and observe your animals. And so sometimes we get in such a rush and it's like, okay, we got to get this done and then we're going to go to this and we got to do this because there's always something to be done, right? Well, for me, one of my favorite things to do is after we get done. So for instance, we just got done topping these guys' feet off, topping their water off. We got to move to fresh grass. They get moved daily. They're on their fresh grass. They're good to go. So in my head, I know that everything is done. I've done everything I know that I can do for these guys. So I sit back and I just watch them. So I think that their feeders are perfect. I think their feed's good. I think their water's good. Let me just sit back and watch and observe and see how they actually react to all these things I've done. Because if we are just moving on to the next thing, how do we know those feeders are high enough or those feeders are low enough or that water's flowing right or our chickens are reacting right? Maybe the airflow is not good enough. Maybe they're too hot. We need to raise the sides a little bit more. Whatever, unless we observe them, we're never going to learn how to tweak things. And we always just kind of stay in that rut of doing the same thing and we never get better. So for me, one of my favorite things to do and a really great tip for you is to take a minute and observe after you get done doing things. Observe how they're acting, observe your animals. For the cows and the sheep, you know, we rotate them frequently, observing how they're reacting to the new grasses that they're getting to. How fast are they chomping them down? Should we have moved them a day earlier? Whatever it may be, is they got good access to the water? Just kind of watching how they act, and you learn so much about the animal, the needs that they have that need to be met, as well as just being able to take a step back and breathe and be like, wow, this is why I do what I do. I thoroughly enjoy farming. The side of it that gets a bit hectic is all the things that have to be done all the time, and I feel like that's never going to end. So if you just kind of take a minute and be like, okay, this is part of my chores for the meat birds. This is part of my chores for the cows and the sheep. I've got to allow that time. I've got to allow that 5 minutes just to watch and observe, not only for me, but for my animals as well.